Hello friends, it's Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck. Today we're going to be reviewing the Bluetti Charger1. This device is designed to fast charge your power stations directly from your engine. No solar panels required. Now some folks might be wondering why they would need the Bluetti Charger1 when their power station does come with a cigarette lighter power cable. This is the typical charging cable that's included with a power station, and the limitation is this charging method only delivers about 100 watts of charging power versus the Bluetti Charger1 can do up to 560 watts. And this should be really exciting for folks that have small solar arrays. Maybe you're in a smaller van and you just don't have a bunch of roof space, or some folks don't have solar at all. A couple other nice features about this unit: it has a built-in cooling fan, so it's able to be really efficient even at full output. And additionally, it has a built-in auto detection, so it will disable charging when your vehicle engine is off and then resume charging when the engine turns back on. So that means you can just leave it plugged in, leave your power station plugged in, and you don't have to worry about it draining your starting battery. So a cool thing about this unit is that it has variable output voltage, which means it should be able to charge about 95% of all power stations that exist. So we're going to be checking that out today. I'm going to be testing it with multiple different types of power stations you see right here, and we're going to see how it performs. To test the Charger1, we're going to be using a 12-volt lithium battery as the starting battery. And the Charger1 includes everything you need to make it happen. You'll get a set of generous battery cables with the ring terminals already included. There is a safety breaker. You get the Charger1, and then the Charger1 also comes with this set of MC4 output leads. And so you connect that into the Charger1, and then you're gonna use whatever solar charging cables come with your power station. So pretty much all power stations are going to include a set with MC4s. So you'll just plug that right in and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and set it up. Battery positive lead, and we'll put it into input positive. The negative side, which is labeled battery negative, that's going into the negative input. Now we're going to connect the output the same way. We'll put positive and positive and negative and negative. So now the next thing we're going to do is connect the battery leads to the battery. Go ahead and connect positive to positive, just like this. And then negative goes to negative, of course. You guys know how it is. So now the power is flowing from the battery through the cables into the Charger1. So the first power station we're going to check out is the Bluetti AC200L. And what you're going to do is use the solar charging cables that came with your power station. So we're going to hop into the Bluetti app right here, power it up. I'm going to use it in offline mode right now. I don't want to register it. I'm going to click on charger, and that takes us into the interface for the Charger1, and we can see the starting battery voltage is 13 volts. There's no watts going out. I haven't connected it to the inverter yet. Now if we look at the options down at the bottom, it says charging voltage. If we click on that, and we click that we have disconnected it from a power station and clicked next, here's where you'll have an option to select what model power station you have. And I don't see an AC200L, I see a 200PL. So we'll try that one. 56 volts. So we're gonna hit select, oh, we already did that. 56 volts, we're gonna hit next. We're gonna hit okay. It says wait 90 seconds before charging. So there's a countdown timer at the bottom. We'll go ahead and let it count down. Okay, and here we are. We got to the 90 seconds. We're going to click the done button. And we're going to go ahead and plug in the output from the Charger1, input of the power station. Boom. And now we're going to go ahead and slide this tab for charging. And here we go. Now you can see the display on the screen. It says the battery voltage is 12.3 coming in. We have 565. We'll let the voltage settle for a minute there. So according to the app on the Charger1, we're getting 577 watts coming out of it. Now what we'll do is we'll hop over to the Bluetti app for the AC200L and see what that looks like. And here it's telling us our input voltage is 574 watts coming in as a PV source, even though it's technically not PV. It's coming from another battery, but we're fooling it today. And so here we are, simple as that. That's it, Charger1 is working. So this is exactly what it would look like if you hooked up the Charger1 to your vehicle starting battery, you have the car on, boom, you're good to go. 574 watts coming in to the Bluetti. Pretty sweet. So we'll go back. The cool thing too, if you get all Bluetti products, is everything is gonna be accessible from within a single app, which is kind of nice. So now we're gonna turn charging off. Charging off, and we're gonna go ahead and hook up this tiny little Anker Solex portable power station. You can see this port right here. This is the solar input port. And again, as long as your power station or device has you know, a solar input connector, then you can charge it with the Charger1. And if I look closely at it, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it says right above that port what the voltage is. It says solar in needs to be between 11 and 28 volts. So I think we're gonna go ahead and try to charge this at 25 volts just to be safe. I don't wanna blow up this little thing. This is the connector for the Anker Solex. This is also the same connector for an EcoFlow. It's a pretty common XT60 connector. And then what we're gonna do is release the MC4 cables like that. And like this. And this is the Bluetti charger cables. We're gonna set those aside. And now we're gonna plug in the MC4s for this Anker Solex. Just like that. Just like this. And we're gonna leave it unplugged. Remember what the instructions said, don't plug it in. So now what we wanna do is hop back into the app, and we're gonna change the voltage, custom, and we're gonna go 25 volts. Okay, there it is, 25 volts. We're gonna hit okay. The device is disconnected. There's not gonna be any voltage damage. So again, they give us the 90-second screen to go ahead and wait. I'm sure they don't wanna have any slip up where you have a unit plugged in and you send too much voltage to it. That's gonna be a bad time for everyone involved. So we'll let the countdown timer run down. So the Bluetti is ready. It's been reset to 25 volts. We'll hit the done. And here we are, we're standing voltage on the house batteries is 13. We're gonna plug in this guy right here. There it is. We're gonna charge it at 25 volts. We're gonna turn the dial over to charging. And here it is. We have 100 watts, 12.9 volts on the starting battery, 100 watts coming out of the charger into the Anker Solex unit. So let's hop over to the Anker app. And so on that Anker Solex, you can see we're getting 98 watts coming in. And on the Bluetti, we have 101 watts going out. So it's a very efficient charging source. It's pretty simple. I mean, I love how everything is so seamless. I've been in the van life game for 7 years now. And when I started out, the main power station was Jackery. The Explorer 500 just came out. They didn't even have the 1000 yet. There was no Bluetooth, no apps. Everything was very, very rudimentary, and it's really amazing to see how far the technology has come. It's really handy now that everything has a built-in app. It's so easy here to monitor exactly what's going on. We can monitor the Charger1, monitor the power station, see what's happening. I'm a big fan. So that's it for the charging on the Anker. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Turn that off there. We'll open the Anker app. We can see the charging has stopped there. So we'll go ahead and turn off the Anker Solex and we'll switch over to the EcoFlow. See how that works out. I'm assuming it's gonna work out just as amazing, but let's find out. So here we are with the EcoFlow Delta 2. This thing is an absolute workhorse. I've been using this EcoFlow for about a year. It's been a great unit. The one complaint I have about this unit is that all the main charging ports for DC are in the front and all the AC ports are in the back. and the charging ports are in the back. So it's kind of, I mean, it's a first world problem to complain about it, but it's kind of, for me, it's not convenient to have to be switching it around all the time. I'm not a fan of the design, but functionally, it's been a good unit. I'll bring this over to you guys. See if you can see it. Right down here on the bottom of that little charging port, it says solar voltage up to 60 volts. So we'll leave the solar plug disconnected. We'll make the changes in the Bluetti app. So we're just gonna set custom voltage down here. We're gonna accept the disclaimer and we're gonna go 55 volts. Okay, next, yes, here we are. And we're gonna wait for the countdown timer. Now, one thing I want to mention while we're waiting for this app to count down, I do have experience using the EcoFlow alternator charger. The limitation is it only works with certain EcoFlow products. So it's a nice charger, but it's limited in its capability. For me, if I'm looking at getting an alternator charger or really any piece of technology, I always want to try to get something that will have multiple purposes, multiple uses. So I really like the fact that the Bluetti swallowed their pride and they say, hey, we're gonna have this charger work for any brand power station. It's not gonna be proprietary. Okay, so here we are, custom charging 55 volts. We're gonna go ahead and hit done. And here we are in a very familiar screen, 13 volts on the house battery. We're gonna go ahead and plug in this XT60 to the EcoFlow unit. 55 volts with a maximum of 60. We're gonna slide the charging button. So here we can see starting batteries at 12.4 volts. The power station is moving 505 watts into the EcoFlow. 505, 506 at 55 volts. So let's open up the old EcoFlow app. Disclaimer, I haven't used this in months, so who knows if it's even, oh goodness, it wants me to log in. That's something else I don't like. I don't like the fact you have to log into all this stuff. Like with the Bluetti app, even the Anchor app, it would let me bypass a login. I don't want to do any of this. I don't know it wants the password. I don't know the password. Come on, man. Oh, this is crazy. I'm knocking points off this EcoFlow unit just for making me do this. Oh my goodness. Struggling here, guys. Holy cannoli. Okay, we're in. We've hacked the matrix. Here we are. Okay, so here we are, EcoFlow Delta. We can click on the unit. And here we are, input 499 watts. My battery state of charge is currently 27.94%, and we can see if we continued charging at this rate, we would have 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. So we got 500 watts coming in. What's the Bluetti putting out? 502 watts. So there it is, the Bluetti Charger1. Of course, it charges all your Bluetti power stations. It also charges EcoFlow power stations. It also charges baby Anchor power stations. So I think it's really a cool device. I really like that you can have it for multiple uses, and it's a little bit future-proof because if you get some different power station down the road, you should be able to still use this Bluetti Charger1, and it's priced right. I think it's a really good piece of technology.